Hey everybody, before we get started here with our finals here from Maple Lanes here in Waterloo, Iowa at the 2023 Ebonite Fall Classic, I just learned of some news here this morning that I wanted to confirm and make sure that it was accurate. But someone who's bowled on these live streams many, many times and has supported everything we've been doing here at Inside Bowling over the years has passed away overnight. Rick Kidd, reports have come in and now confirmed that Rick Kidd passed away. He had a surgery performed, and just something happened after that. I don't know all of his health issues that were going on, but what I can speak to is how great of a guy Rick Kidd was. He would always come by the booth, spend time hopping in here with me, or always saying goodbye and hello, and has always supported everything we've done here at Inside Bowling all the way back to 2010. So our thoughts are with the entire Kidd family and everyone that has been friends with Rick over the years. He's got tons of friends out there. We've lost another good one in the bowling community. Rest in peace, Rick Kidd, and thoughts and prayers go out to everybody affected by the passing of Rick Kidd here this morning. We're going to miss you, buddy. So let's take you out to the lanes. And we've got our matches getting started right now. Practice underway. On lanes 5 and 6, we have Cameron Crowe, who qualified at plus 218 over, which was a 216 average, taking on Nick Pate, who finished at plus 255, a 219 average. Right next door, simultaneous matches on lanes 7 and 8, we have Zachary Gear, who was our tournament leader coming into today. He averaged 218.6 for the tournament. He bowled 300 his last game of qualifying yesterday, taking on Brent Boho. Brent plus 223 is a 217.1 average. So Boho versus Gear on lanes 7 and 8, and over on 5 and 6 we got Pate versus Cam Crowe. The winners of each one of those matches will then move to the opposite pair and will then bowl Lucas Finley and Lucas Hersrud. Those will be our next two contestants that will come over here on 5 through 8. The winners of each one of those matches will then move over to lanes 11 and 12 for their match to determine who is the number 5 seed. Then we'll go to lanes 15 and 16 for Zach Andreessen to take on the winner of that. The winner of that match will take on Dave Dentlinger over on 13 and 14. We'll go back to 15 and 16 for our semifinal match, which will feature Trenton Holes and whoever is left in the event. And then our championship match will be on lanes 11 and 12. Brady Stearns, our tournament leader, he's averaged 228.9. He's 376 over. Brady Stearns, our leader, will bowl for the title here a little bit later on this afternoon. Here in Waterloo, Iowa, Maple Lanes, Mike Flanagan with you, representing the Greater Iowa Bowling Association. If you want to find out more information about their events, head over to giba-bowling.com. We'd like to thank Ebonite for being our title sponsor of this event. If you're considering a new bowling ball purchase, make sure you consider an Ebonite product. Bowling balls, they also make a lot of accessories, bags, been around a long time, part of the Brunswick family of brands. Check out all the brands that Brunswick has to offer. Would also like to thank the Waterloo Convention and Visitors Bureau for all of their support. Visit waterloo.com. We'll give you a lot more information about all the great things going on up here in Waterloo. We would also like to take this time to thank I Am Bowling, the official jersey supplier of the Greater Iowa Bowling Association. If you're looking for a new bowling jersey, check out iambowling.com. You can save 25% with the coupon code GIBA. GIBA gets you 25% off. We would also like to thank Brandon Steen from the Steen team. If you're looking for a mortgage up in this area, need to get a home, or just any sort of loan whatsoever, check out Brandon Steen, part of the Steen team. Great sponsor of this event. Also want to thank the OP over on Ridgeway, the restaurant, for supporting Budweiser and Bud Light. Remember to always drink responsibly. The Hampton Inn, the official hotel of the Greater Iowa Bowling Association. That's where I stay. You should stay there as well when you come through Waterloo. And also our final sponsor, Kwik Trip, Kwik Star. When you're leaving and coming into town and you need to get gas, head over to Kwik Star, Kwik Trip, grab a few beverages from inside of their convenience area, a couple snacks maybe. That's where I'll be headed immediately when we're done with this here today. But we got bracket play for you right now. 7 versus 10 seed on the left. 8 versus 9 seeds on the right. Crow versus Pate, lefty versus righty. Boho versus Gear. A couple of right-handers here. So here we go. Today's prize list on a $160 entry. First place is $2,800, second place $2,200, $1,600 for third, $1,300 for fourth, $1,100 for fifth, sixth receives $950, seventh and eighth will receive $850 each, ninth and 10th $750 each. So all players guaranteed at least $750 on their $160 entry at this point in the tournament. Boho gets things started, comes in a little bit high there for the 4, 6, 7. Cam Crow has a lot of power. Power lefty. I would imagine one day we're going to see him at least try the professional tour. He's bowling Nick Pate, who's on the professional tour. Boho attempting the split here. Zachary Gear leaves the 4-pin. Pretty good opening shot there. Now here's Nick Pate. Nick with the strike. You know, we thought urethane might be a thing here at this event this weekend. But really, you haven't seen a ton of urethane. We've seen some urethane. We'll see maybe a little bit here in the finals. Here is the oil pattern, 42 feet in length. 26 milliliters of oil, but the real tricky thing is look at the reverse oil total, only 7 milliliters, almost 19 on the way down. Made the front part of the lane hook early, and when you get it down the lane, really didn't want to come off the end of the pattern real well. You got to have a lot of touch, like what Nick Pate's doing right now. He's slow rolling it in the middle of the lane. He's got an opening double against Cam Crow. Gear, the only player during qualifying to bowl a 300 game. We did see a 300 earlier today. By the lefty Lucas Finley. Had 300 earlier today. En route to qualifying 5th. Cam Crow took off the hoodie. He's and the hat. He's like, I'm bowling Nick Pate. I guess I need to settle down here. Look the part. All right, and Gear covers the spare. So Gear is clean through 2 frames, no strikes. Boho opened on the left lane. We'll see if he can get it going here on the right lane. And so far in the match on 5 and 6 right now, it is spare strike to double. And if Gear were to advance, he'd go back over to lanes 5 and 6, where he did bowl 300 yesterday. He does like that pair. He did catch it earlier today and bowled, I think, 220 on it. Around 220 bowled on that pair. So if he can get past Brent Boho, I'm sure he'd love to get over there. I'd like his chances on 5 and 6. Boho with a beautiful shot on the right lane. Man, Boho comes in just a little bit high the last time, and now comes in just a little bit light and leaves the 2-7-10. The 2-7-10. That's just how touchy they are down lane. Nick Pate almost crumbles the entire bucket out there, but no, leaves the 8-pin. Max score 279 for Pate, 270 for Cam Crow. So Gear with an opportunity here with 2 open frames from Boho already. Kind of liking this just staying clean thing. That I'm just going to say that pushed a little bit more through the middle part of the lane, but he's still around the pocket. It's a makeable spare. All right, nice spare. Nick covers his spare as well, so Cam and Nick pretty even here. We'll see if Gear can get the first strike here in the 4th. Glad you're with us here on Inside Bowling. If you have any questions for me in the chat, feel free to ask those as we go along. We do appreciate everybody interacting with us throughout the broadcast. Let me know who you're rooting for. A lot of youth in this one here. This was probably the youngest overall field average as far as age is concerned that we've had out of all of these events. We've been coming here for a little over 12 years. It's the 24th event that are the 2 majors here at the Greater Iowa Bowling Association. Boho comes in light, leaves the 2-pin. Cam Crow is going to have to start getting both lanes figured out here. That was a great shot. Leaves the 7-pin. All right, Brent gets the left lane figured out there. Great shot. After going open, a couple of splits, light, high, flushes one. Now here is Nick. Gets it to Reed. Nick in great control of this match against Cam right now, halfway through. That one there, Nick was in like in between like the fourth and fifth arrows playing fallback. Did not get that one really where he wanted, but he was got it up the lane, forward roll, and it just held pocket for what was almost a solid 9, but he had the messenger come across and take that out. Cam strikes on the right lane. Cam's going to have to throw a 4 or 5 bagger in here somewhere if he's going to have a chance against Nick, and Nick's going to have to make a mistake. All right, another spare, staying clean. Mr. Gear. Boho can get back in the match if he can strike in the 6th and the 7th. Still in anybody's ball game here on 7 and 8. Gear not able to get any doubles, but he is clean. Cam up now. He rung a 7 on the last time on this lane. Just threw it past the break. I've seen him do that a couple times today. Very easy to do. Hello to Shelly and Jaden watching in the chat. Thanks for chiming in. Good to see you here. Boho with a double. Creeping back into the match. Boy, Nick looks really good out there, very polished. You know, if we were to think about, you know, who is one of the people from the first matches that could go on to win the whole event, I think we would all pick Nick. I put him on the thumbnail of this event because when I looked over the list, I kind of picked him as maybe the favorite to win this thing. I thought he would qualify higher, and he's got a long road to go before he could win this thing. But with his Team USA experience and professional tour experience, he's bowled against the best in the world. Coming out here, not to take anything away from the field here, but he's not going to be afraid of anyone. He's just got a great look out there. We're waiting on the ball return here. Gear just signaled that up to the front desk. Gear looking for his first double. And after Brent applies that triple, Gear really needs it here. Oh, clean game so far. We'll see if this pays off. Boho in a good shot, in a good spot here, though, if he can find his way to continuing to hit the pocket. Took Boho a few frames on the left lane to figure it out, but he's got it figured out now. So you look at max scores here, 215 for Gear. 235 for Boho. Cam just ran into a buzzsaw here in Nick Pate. Pate goes double, 9 spare, 9 spare, 4-bagger. We saw him miss in a little bit and keep it just up the middle of the lane, a held pocket. That's going to be tough to beat. Remember, though, they do move pairs after every game. So just because he has a good look here doesn't mean that that's his look for the rest of the day. And Boho right there gets a little, either a little soft or a little grabby with it. Put a little more rotation on the ball, and the ball just hooks right through the face, leaves a Greek church. So that really changes things here. So Brent Boho can strike here, and he can still get to 196. Gear is going at a 195 pace. So this is still keeping him in the match here. Even a mark, it's not over. Ooh, tickles the 5 and the 7 out late. So Boho would like to have that shot back that was in the 8th frame, but that strike in the 9th keeps him in it. He forces Gear to have to double somewhere in here to lock him out. Cam, the best he can do is 193. Nick is already at 207. Nick Pate's going to advance. He'll move over to lanes 7 and 8. All right, so Gear needs to pick this up. He's got the sleeper back there. He's got the 9-pin back there with it. Cam just fast tracking. Nick leaves the 10-pin. It's a big, big spare here for Gear. Beautiful spare. So if Gear can go up and double in the 10th, that puts him at 191. He would then need 6 pins to advance because 196 is the max for Boho. So Gear can control his own destiny here on 7 and 8. Got to hand it to Cam Crow. Finishes in the 9-10 seed bracket here. He is going to take home $750 for his efforts. Nick Pate will advance and earn at least $850, maybe more. With the look he has, he's probably the guy I would not want to be bowling. Gear up in the 10th. Oh my goodness. You really can't throw it much better than that. Important for him to make the spare. Boho just got up and knows he has a chance now. But to throw a double on this right lane is no gimme. Final score for Pate, 237. Cam Crow, 182. 237, 182 for Cam. Gear with a spare strike would be 190. And even the strike's important because Boho's Greek Church on the right lane already. He could go double Greek Church. Gear is using motive. Yes, he is. He's using a Venom Shock. Question here in the chat. EJ Tackett's go-to ball. All right, so he gets 9, 189 the score for Gear, 189. So Boho, just for everybody at home to follow along, if he were to go 9 spare strike, that only gives him 176. He would be short. If he goes strike 9 spare, that would give him 165. Plus 20 is 185. He would be 4 short. So he has to throw a double here. That would get him to 186. Then he would need 4 pins on the next ball. He's got to have a double. Wow, almost broke that up. So Brent Boho is going to finish in the 9-10 with Cam Crow. Boho and Crow eliminated. And now we've got Nick Pate is going to go on to take on one of the Lucases. And Brent Boho goes home, and Mr. Gear, Zachary Gear, he's going to bowl the other Lucas. Not sure which Lucas gets seated where. I didn't write that down. But congratulations to Brent Boho and Cam Crow on nice finishes here. Of 168 players, they finished inside the top 10, and they both made about $600 on the weekend each. Not counting brackets. That's a good weekend for both of these guys. Zach Gear advances and Nick Pate advances. And we will have those matches coming up for you here in just a moment, right here on Inside Bowling. I'm going to bring up our stream video, and I'll be right back.
Okay, our next matches will be on lanes 5 and 6, Lucas Finley versus Zach Gear. And on 7 and 8 will be Nick Bate versus Lucas Perdue. And you'll get 3 shadow balls on each lane, guys.
I'm starving. My point, 1 point.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Continuing coverage 2023 Ebonite Fall Classic. We advance into the bracket play. 2 matches for you once again. We got Nick Pate over on lane 7. And he is taking on Lucas Hersrud. Then over on lanes 5 and 6, we have Zachary Gear. And Gear has already bowled 300 yesterday on this pair and bowled well this morning on it as well. I believe he bowled 230 on this pair. He really is comfortable on 5 and 6, has a really good look on it. And he is bowling another Lucas. Lucas Finley also bowled 300 earlier today on lanes 9 and 10. So the only 2 players to bowl 300 in this event are actually facing off against each other on lanes 5 and 6. Pretty cool. Opening shot there from the tall and lanky Lucas Hersrud. So here is the lefty Finley. Looking good out there. It's been very impressive here today. I'll look at my sheets here. Coming into today, Finley was in 31st position at plus 75. Got all the way up to 5th at plus 303 for 6 games. He went 230 over today for 6 games. As Bo Burton would say, he brought his Sunday ball. That is for sure. Comes in a little bit high there for 4-pin. Waiting on a respot here on 7. Nice spare conversion. So we're clean so far. See if we can keep that going here. Nikki and Travis Hersrud let me know here in the chat that both Lucases are college roommates. I didn't know that. This is really my first introduction to both of these guys as they both made the finals here. But observing them here this weekend, they definitely can play. Coming up here, I always see a lot of new youth players that come and bowl this tournament, and always get to see some new ones. And this is definitely these 2 young men's coming out party for me, at least, and getting to notice and understand, you know, just what great players they are. So good luck to them the upcoming college season. Definitely be keeping an eye on that. All right, Zach Gear. That's his first open frame that we've seen him in the finals. He's been making all his spares. And I'm a little shocked that he doesn't have a little better ball reaction on 5 and 6, especially after the practice. Watch him practice a little bit. He didn't look lost. But Pate came over and told me that he thought 5 and 6 was really tough. He said it's a really tough pair. That was a good shot by Nick there. Again, Nick has won this event before. I believe he is the last person standing here that can be a repeat champion. The old 3-4 high hit here for Zach Gear. That is tough sledding there, but not out of it. We saw Boho, after a few open frames, get right back in the match. 2 or 3 strikes in a row will do it. Boy, Nick's really getting the ball to read the mid lane beautifully. Oh, I thought he was going to make that. Lucas just having a hard time getting the ball where he needs it to. Might be a little tentative, a little too much up the lane. Needs to go a little bit more left to right, I believe. That's what I see from here. Oh, look at that. Great ball reaction. Great hitting power from Finley. Now he's got strike, spare, strike. Let's see if we can figure out the left lane. Came in a little bit high the last time. Nice spare. Flattens out the wrist. Always intrigues me how the two-handers can do that. Just totally flatten out their wrist using the two hands. My muscle memory tells me to rotate the ball and hook it. Those that can flatten it out, that's pretty impressive. That was a good shot. That was a better shot, I should say. Leaves a 7-pin. Going at a Dutch pace, Dutch 200 pace right now through 4. And there we go, Lucas. Lucas Hersrud. Clean through 4, gets his first strike up there in the 4th. Nick Pate's got a triple at him. Lucas has a bunch of college teammates here, or friends at least, cheering him on. They got quite a little group over here that are talking to him in between shots. Finley with the spare. Gear not out of it yet. That ball read about 5 feet sooner for Nick. Fortunate for it to kind of just go forward and still hit the head pin. Man, that one just passed the break. I want to show the shot of Gear yesterday on his 300 game. Same lane. And that's how I was reading yesterday for him. Wow, what a break for Lucas. Lucas Hersrud there with a nice break. Very fortunate to have the 6 fall on that one. And now it's just time to parlay it. You know, he was on a strike, so he gets the double. Just needs to collect himself, go over to 7, and make a great shot like he did the last time. And, you know, he's right in this match against Nick Pate. Finley doubles, or excuse me, throws another strike on the right lane. That's his 3rd strike in a row. He is dialed in. He's perfect on that lane. Still going at that Dutch pace. Need to see if he can figure out the left lane. And that's it right there. That is how you do it. That is how you capitalize on a break. He's thrown 2 tremendous shots on the left lane. And you know what? I think the right lane is a little trickier. We saw Nick, you know, who's been throwing it really good. He went high on 8. It just hooked early on him. We saw the same thing from Hersrud. Nick is going to finish on the right lane, and now Lucas Finley gets a strike on the left lane. He's his first double, and he's on cruise control right now. Gear's going to have to put 3-4 strikes up here to get back in this one. And just when the ball hooks early on Nick, now he's hydroplanes down lane, and guess what? Hersrud's right in this match. This is anybody's ball game here. This open frame, 2-8-10, very low conversion percentage here. It's one of the toughest splits to have to pick up. And here comes Gear with a double. So Gear, if he were to strike on the next ball, would have 72 in the 5th. Finley 110 in the 5th if he strikes on the next ball. So that's a difference of 38 pins. Over here, Nick just whiffs them all completely. Can still bowl 243. And Hersrud can bowl 267. Great shot from Nick. Nick's loving the left lane. He is not liking the right lane, but guess what? He's got to finish on the right lane. Gear's in some trouble. Best he can do is 187. The magic number is 188 for Lucas Finley. Right lane considerably tougher here on this lane 7 and 8. Count is important here for Finley. 2 is 4 pins up on the scoreboard. With the lead that he has, it's important to get every pin that he can. Ooh, nice spare from Lucas Hersrud. So 187 is still the score that Gear can bowl. Finley going at a 190 pace here. 244 still the max for Hersrud. $233 now, and Nick Bate can bowl 243. This one's coming down to it. Coming down to the finish. We're going to have a good one here. Now, Finley needs to avoid an open frame here. He needs to get a mark. Strike would definitely help him relax a little bit. There it is. I'll tell you, I wouldn't have wanted to bowl Gear on 5 and 6, but he's paid a lot of penalties for bad shots. And when I say bad shots, marginally bad. Hasn't broken much up. And that's what I'm talking about right there. That can't be just a 2-pin or just an 8-pin. It's got to be a 2, 8, 10. So now that magic number is going down right now for Lucas Finley to win this thing. Win this match. If he gets 2 on this, that puts him at 106. Best he can do is 166. So 167 becomes the magic number. It can go away fast. If Pate strikes on this ball, he cannot be shut out. He would still have 243 left, and Lucas Hersrud can still bowl 233, which would be 10 pins short if both players strike out. Ooh, a little shaker 7. Nick thought he threw that one pretty good. The best he can do is 222 now, so Lucas Hersrud is going to have ball in hand in the 9th and 10th frame and finishing on the left lane. He's going to have an opportunity to close this one off. And now Gear throws about as good as you can in the 9th frame. He's wondering where that's been all game. Best he can do is 165. Nick's got to make this spare. He does. Got a deadwood now, a little delay in action. Again, the magic number 166 for Finley. Got the 4, 6, 8, 10. This right tricky lane here for Hersrud. Best he can do is 222 now, so we got a 1-pin match over here, and that's if he converts the 2-8. Again, important to get 2 pins a count here. Just gets 1 again. So now he has to mark. 166, the magic number. Very nice spare on the 2-8. That is difficult to do. So he's got a chance to put the pressure on Nick Pate here. Nick is going to have to do everything Hersrud does in the 10th frame if he is going to win here. He has the 1 pin in hand. If Hersrud were to strike out, that'd be 221. If Pate were to go double 9, we'd have a tie. That's one way to lock it up. Lucas Finley's going to advance. And our tournament leader coming in today, Zach Gear, bowled 300 yesterday. He's going to take everything he learned here from this one, and he's going to apply it this year in college. Hopefully we'll see him in February at Cadillac at our next major event. So he will finish in the 7th, 8th bracket. And we still don't know who's going to be there from Lucas Hersrud, or Nick Pate, but this 410 must be converted now. Well, wait a minute. I already advanced him. Oh, I thought he was going to pick it. Boy, this has just gotten really bizarre. Lucas Finley needs 2 pins. Okay, he got it. That was stranger danger there. And this open frame pretty much hands it to Nick Pate. Yep, that's going to do it right there. Nick Pate advances. The Lucases go home. Or excuse me, Lucas Hersrud goes home. Zach Gear goes home. But Lucas Finley advances to bowl Nick Pate. So coming up next, over on lanes 11 and 12, we're going to have Pate versus Finley. Pate the number 7 seed, Finley the 5 seed. Right here in Waterloo, Iowa. All right, folks, I'll be right back with our next match coming up on lanes 11 and 12. Just single wides here the rest of the way. We'll be right here back from Waterloo here at the 2023 Ebonite Fall Classic. See you in just a moment. All right, welcome back, everybody. We now have our number 5 seed Lucas Finley taking on number 7 seed Nick Pate. Practice is over and the guys are underway. Joined here in the booth by Joe Engelkis, our tournament director. Hello, Joe.
Well, hello, and welcome everybody. We get to determine our fifth for the stepladder now.
Yes, we do. Of course, our number 4 seed already is Zach Andreessen. Number 3 seed Dave Dentlinger. Number 2 seed is Trenton Holtz, and number 1 seed is Brady Stearns. They have been sitting and waiting for a while now, but we've made it through the bracket play, and these are the two that have made it through. And Pate, to me, is the guy I wouldn't want to have to bowl if I'm any of the people that are left.
I would definitely agree. He seems to have the best look of anybody so far in this elimination matches for sure. He's been around the pocket most every shot. And he's got a lot of experience.
Yeah, he won back in 20. I'll tell you in just a second. Oh, nice messenger
Wow.
there for Nick.
Took out both the 7 and the 10.
He won in 2018. February of 2018.
Yeah, he's aging well.
Yeah,
He falls in the veteran category now.
Yeah, Dentlinger's like the dinosaur that's left.
Yeah, that's what he said. I'm the oldest one. I said, yeah, you are.
Joe, you bowled on this pattern here this week, and you told me you thought it kind of resembled the Open Championships team event, but it looks like this is played even trickier than that.
Yeah, in the practice session, I think we still had probably a little bit more of the house memory out there. Certainly yesterday morning it misses to the, speaking of misses to the right. I missed that 2-pin. Yeah, it was, for me, if I missed a board right, it was a 210, 2810 type leave, and certainly when I set it down early and inside my mark, it was ugly. I think I ended up with 12 splits in the first 4 games, something like that. It was really bad. I didn't bowl very well, but the pattern certainly was trickier than what showed up in our practice session. I don't know if it was some of that was there was not much urethane going down the lane in the practice session because I practiced early so I could get off the lanes when everybody else showed up. But yeah, it just seemed like the ball wanted to wiggle if I got it to the right a little bit, and it didn't really do that so much in the practice session. A lot more urethane during the actual tournament.
Yeah, it seems like when we come up and we have these events, and if the pattern's 40 feet or less, we see almost all urethane. And when it starts to get a little bit longer, you know, we see a little bit of everything.
Right. And of course, when you're crossing pairs and following different groups each game, that can make a big difference too, and with how they're breaking them down ahead of you. It was, for me, that made it very tricky. When I did leave a makeable spare, some of them were pretty tricky combinations, 3, 6, 9, 10s and stuff like that. On this pattern were pretty tough. think my best game was 243. I had 10 strikes that game. The only thing is I had 2 splits too. So when I didn't strike, it was usually one of those red marks up there. It seemed like.
It's pretty cool in the bracket. We had Lucas Finley bowling against Zach Gear, and those were the two players that bowled 300 in this event.
Yeah.
And they faced off against each other.
Yeah, and they both struggled on that pair for sure. That's why I was thinking that maybe Nick Pate had a leg up because he whacked him on that same pair.
Mm-hmm.
So he had obviously a much better look than what some of these other guys have had. But you can't miss 2 pins either. That was a bad mistake.
So Nick is perfect on the right lane, and the left lane just came in a little bit light. And he's told me he's had some lanes that are just a lot tighter, meaning that down lane the ball just doesn't want to hook.
Yep. Yeah, that definitely doesn't finish like the other lane. Yeah, I had a couple of pairs in qualifying that were like that, where the one lane was quite a bit tighter than the other, but as soon as I squared up a little bit, it'd go right through the face. So, yeah, that was real tricky to figure out. Hence the minus 89 score.
We had 168 entries, 1 re-entry, so 167 bowlers, and it took plus 10 to make it into the cashers round today. It took a 216 average to make the top 10. That was Cam Crow at plus 218. Pate averaged 219.6, and Finley averaged 223.3. Our number 4 seed, Zach Andreessen, he averaged 223.8. Our number 3 seed, Dave Dintlinger, averaged 225.46. Trenton Holtz, our number 2 seed, averaged 227.2 and 228.9 for our leader, Brady Stearns. I talked to a few guys that use urethane, and every once in a while, they just couldn't get it to stop hooking in the first third of the lane.
Right.
And it just got the ball going on a wrong pathway. And I think that's what we're seeing right here with Mr. Finley.
On the right lane, both shots read early and just kept going. So, he's fortunate to break up the split both times.
Anybody's match here. Staying clean keeps you in it.
Yes, it does.
Unless Nick Pate had a 4-bagger at him, but he certainly doesn't. Nick has not doubled, and he's missed a single pin spare. That's a gift.
Better shot.
Yeah, just a little light. We've seen light shaker 10s and 7s for the lefties and the righties. I thought this pattern almost looked like, just from sitting back here, like it almost looked like it played 44 feet, 45 feet. Just felt like it played longer
Yep, I
than
would
what the
agree.
graph showed.
I would agree. Ooh. barely caught that.
So if he gets a strike in the 6th, if we assume that, he can still bowl 245. Looks like Nick Pate can still bowl 248. We always say those max scores as if someone were to strike out, and the reason why we do that is because it really gives you the optimal amount of what the match could be.
Right.
And at the same time, a lot of times you wonder, well, if they haven't struck very much yet, why would you assume that they could strike out? Well, because they've been getting information in the first half of the game that can help them set up to be in the right part of the lane that they can string a bunch of strikes. So it's really not surprising how many times a guy will throw the last 4 or 5 strikes in the game.
Exactly.
It's because he's finally figured out what the lanes are doing. The first 3, 4 frames, a lot of times, you're just trying to figure out what the new pair of lanes are doing.
Yep, that's true. Oh, you got one of those light ones to go. It's not gonna get there.
He trusted that one,
Yes, he
and
did.
it was better.
Mm-hmm.
But leaves the 3 pin, so no strikes yet for Lucas. Nick Pate keeps striking. Lucas is going to keep finding himself getting further and further behind. This is my first time seeing Lucas bowl
Mm-hmm.
that I know of. I may have watched him bowl a few years ago at Junior Gold or something like that I don't remember.
It's possible. Yeah, I know he has bowled Junior Gold, but
He's got a little bit of a follow through similar to Nate Stubler a little bit.
similar, yes.
Yeah.
I would say. I think Eric was telling me that Lucas shot 300 at the Junior Gold on one of the tough patterns.
Gets the light mixer, maybe a little bit more up the back of it, a little more on line there. Gets his first strike in the 7th frame, so he can still bowl 234. Now here's Nick. Nick's tendency here is, he really likes the right lane. Likes the right lane a lot. Has not missed on the right lane, so my guess would be he's going to hit flush on the right lane, and in the left lane, every once in a while, he gets a little quick with it or trusts it just a little too much and sometimes leaves that 2-pin combo or that light 7. But this one here I think will be pretty good out of Nick on the right lane.
He didn't like it, but didn't carry.
It was definitely changing direction down lane quite a bit.
Yeah.
That's probably a strike on the left lane
Yeah, I believe so.
if he does that again.
Yeah, I would agree.
Got a 3-pin match right now. Lead for Pate, but max score, Lucas can run him down.
Yes, you can.
227 the max score for Pate, 234 for Lucas. There's that light shot on the left lane, and this is something you want to remember, because this is going to be our title match pair. This will be the pair that we use for the title match. So left lane being tighter, and Dave Dillinger has been watching this match here pretty closely. And Dave is not up next.
No, he's got one more match to wait. See if you can get the 2-pin this time. Yep. Close.
Nice shot from Lucas there. Nice double. Takes the lead in the match. Best Pate bowl is 215. Lucas now going at a 214 pace. Yeah, 204, you're right.
It's only got one double.
Well, the last
City.
2 shots have been really good from Lucas Finley.
Money on those.
So if he were to go 9 spare strike, that's 213, right?
Right.
So if Nick strikes out, he can bowl 215. Would force Lucas. Force Lucas to go up in the 10th frame and get a strike.
Yes. That was a mouthful, obviously. Been a long 2 days, hasn't it?
Yeah. Yep. Good shot, Nick.
That was a beauty there.
Well, Nick's probably going to strike out.
Good chance. Good chance.
If you're Nick here, you got to make sure you're soft with it.
Mm-hmm.
that you grab a handful and you get it to the spot and you give it enough time to get back to the pocket. Otherwise, you're staring at like a 2-pin.
Yeah.
Ooh, all right. Light hit there.
He did grab a mittful, though.
He
That
did.
ball, that thing really crushed him.
He sure did.
They splattered.
Nick can take a re-rack on the left lane. Don't know if he saw something or if he just wants to make his opponent have to think about it a little bit longer.
I vote for the latter.
I knew that one was going to hook because he
yeah.
grabbed a handful of that
Yes,
one,
he
even
did.
more than the last one.
Yes, he did.
So here's Nick. This one just as important as the others.
Needs at least 9.
9, yep.
9 still forces Lucas to get the first strike.
And if you're Lucas, you have to imagine, man, Nick Patey's going to make me do this. Like, he had to be thinking that that's going to happen.
Yep.
Nick can't get fast with this one and leave like a 2-4 or anything like that.
Right.
Nice finish by Nick
Yeah.
Pate. 215. And if you're Nick, you know what you're looking at up on that scoreboard. Second frame, single pin miss.
Yeah.
Missed a 2-pin. That could cost him moving on and possibly winning this event. But all eyes are now on Lucas Finley. His opportunity here to shine. Needs a strike on the first ball. And even if he gets a strike on the first ball, he guttered on the second ball the last
He
game
certainly did.
when I called it
When he
already
needed
over.
2 pins.
He needed 2 pins.
Yeah, Eric told me he lost a month off his life in that one shot. Oh, way left. Way left. Well,
Unfortunately, that's going to do it here for
It
Lucas
is.
Finley.
yeah, missed way left on that one.
He comes home 6th. Sixth place gets you $950. Clean game here. Nick gets away with one there. Missing that single pin, but he was able to strike more.
60. That's the better shot.
Yep, that's what he needed on the first one. So the final score, 215, 211. Nick Pate over Lucas Finley. Nick Pate is going to go down to lanes 15 and 16. He's going to take on our number 4 seed, Zach Andreessen, here in just a moment right here on Inside Bowling. Welcome back, 2023 Ebonite Fall Classic. We are now into our traditional stepladder here. Mike Flanagan, Joe Engelkiss here with you on the call. We've got Nick Pate, our number 7 seed, who's made it out of the bracket to take on our number 4 seed, Zach Andreessen. Nick gets it started here on the left lane here at Maple Lanes here in Waterloo, Iowa. Glad you're with us here this afternoon. Nick starts with a strike and looks pretty comfortable. I watched him throw a few practice shots and looks like he's got a pretty similar look as he did in the last match where he just barely snuck by Lucas Finley. He struck out in the 10th frame to apply pressure to Lucas. Lucas could not strike in the 10th. But here's our first look at Zach. And Zach, a two-hander. He's had a really solid tournament, averaged 223.8 to get to the 4 seed. He's been sitting for a little while, but I know the practice pair down there has been pretty active, Joe.
Yeah, they got a lot of time to warm up, and Zach's a pretty solid player. He bowls almost all of our major events, and he's had a lot of success. Really a smooth two-hander too. No jerky moves, and his approach, he pretty soft at the bottom of the ball. That one came up a little late, but he'll probably get that figured out. Last couple of matches have been pretty close for
very close.
Pate.
Very close. And the winner of this one gets Dave Dentlinger. Of course, our number 2 seed is Trenton Holst, and our number 1 seed, Brady Stearns. Covers the spare with a little problem. Don't forget, Greater Iowa Bowling Association has multiple events throughout the year. Don't forget to join us. And is it going to be in February again?
Yeah, it'll be the last weekend in February.
Last weekend in February for our other major, the Ebonite Winter Classic from Cadillac XBC, just right down the road. You may have noticed that Bowling Center recently hosted a PWBA swing. 3 events taking place over there at Cadillac. I know you got to work that event, Joe. It was a good one.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. The gals are very, very outgoing and appreciative of the audience and the fans, and spent a lot of time after they got done bowling just hanging out. And I know our local fans really appreciated a lot of that. Some great gals, some really great bowling. Man, they just crushed them that week. All 3 of the tournaments, and no matter what pattern they put out, it seemed like they threw a lot of strikes.
This was not a strike, but a hell of a shot.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite Maple Lanes taps right there. The high flush, solid 7.
Is that what we call that?
I don't like it. I finally had a little string going yesterday morning qualifying, and I left that along with a 9-pin at the same time. So that's not totally unusual here. The pins are lively, the kickbacks are lively, and the ball goes through the pins really hard here when you throw it right. A little bit late.
A little sticky 10 there.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Jen Andreessen here in the chat, the mom of Zach. Good luck to your son here. Thanks for joining us in the live stream and participating in our chat room. Well, he likes the left lane on this pair.
Yeah, that was a really solid shot. Wow.
That was a good one.
Yes, it was.
Both players right around the pocket.
Should be another close, interesting match, the way that's shaping up.
Goodbye to Eric Littig. He's headed out the door. Two-pin match through 3 frames.
Yeah, you know, Eric's been a very big part of these tournaments right from the start. I think he had something somewhere along the lines of 24 of his current and former St. Ambrose bowlers in the field this weekend, and it just seems like there's always at least 2 or 3 of them that make the cut and make a big move on Sunday and end up in the finals.
Yeah, he donates a lot of his time to helping these bowlers.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't have to. He's the coach, and the coaching responsibilities you have to do, but you don't have to come out and help every weekend like he does.
Yeah. Yeah, he follows them everywhere. Everywhere they go bowl, he's there.
Zach gets on the board with a nice
That was a
strike
great
there.
shot. Great shot. Ooh. Climbed. Just enough to knock the 10 out.
He loves the left lane.
He does like that. He's 2 really good flush ones, and that one was good enough. was going to say that looked way in off his hand, but it definitely was.
Yeah, they're so tricky that, you know, if you miss a little bit right, it's going to leave a 2-pin something. And if you miss a little bit left, you can do this right here.
Yep.
It's on a strike, so getting 2 is critical.
Yes, it is.
There's really no chance or no sense in going for it at this point in the 5th frame. If we were later in the match and you had to have it, you know, you might throw it the left 2.
Good point.
So 84 in the 5th for Zach. Down 16.
Yep.
Ring 10.
Wow.
So he's going 4-pin, 10-pin, makes 1 bad shot, pays the ultimate penalty.
Wow.
Things are not going very good for Zach at this point.
That was a tough break. That was a really good shot.
Well, what do you think, Joe? You think Nick's going to master the right lane and get his first double?
I think there's a good chance he'll make a better shot here. The first frame he was a little late on left 10 pin, and then he cut it short a little bit.
He's got to watch out for a split here, though, like his counterpart.
Yeah, he made a nice shot. Very nice shot.
Nice.
Ooh. Love tap on 10. He does like that lane.
Yeah. he's dominant on the left lane.
Yes, he is.
It seems like, though, every time he gets good on a lane, he doesn't get to finish on it.
Yeah. Well, that's the price you pay for coming up the elimination matches and the stepladder. You're at the mercy of the other guy's choice lane. Oh. Nice shot.
So the max score here for Zach, he can still get to 224. Nick can bowl 260. Unable to trip the 4-pin. He's bowled a really nice game here. He has just not been able to catch many breaks at all.
Yeah, one poor shot, and the rest of them have all been pretty darn close. Throwing the ball well. Ooh. There was a little frustration in that shot, I believe.
So 192 the max for Zach. And this the split here makes the math still work. That it's not over yet.
Well, there's still a glimmer of hope. 33 pin match right now. Ooh.
All right, this is no gimme either here.
No. Anything with more than one pin this weekend was not easy.
If he were to get 2 of these here, that would give him 194 or 174. Strike spare would give him 194, so you would need a mark in the 10th frame.
Yep.
If Zach were to strike out.
Count.
And if you're Zach sitting on the bench, you got to just be kicking yourself for missing that single pin.
Yep. And he made the spare, so a little tougher now because 9 out would be enough, or 8-1. That really needs to strike out just to put a little bit of pressure on making a good shot, because that right lane has not been real easy for him.
Not at all. He split the last time.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Andreessen is going to finish in 5th. Nick Pate's going to go on to bowl Dave Dentlinger, our number 3 seed. Don't forget, coming up after that match, Trenton Holtz, our number 2 seed, we will see in the semifinal match. And in the championship match, we'll have Brady Stearns, who's already locked in to be the number 1 seed. He only has to win 1 game to take this thing home. Nine spare, 9 spare, 9 spare, strike, bad shot, 9 spare, strike, 9 miss, 9 spare, strike. I'm just trying to play this game out in my mind.
Yeah.
As if I was doing the bowling.
We'll see if Nick figures something out on this right lane because he may come back to this pair after the next match. If he wins. And he struck.
Yep, we go to 13 and 14 next, back to 15 and 16. And then where do we go? 11 and 12?
11
Yep.
and 12 for the final match.
So 171, the final for Zach Andreessen. Again, he finishes 5th. Nick with the spare here will be 205. That's going to do it. Coming up next, we got Dave Dentlinger taking on Nick Pate right here on Inside Bowling.
for seniors. So I had to knock down the top prize and the second prize. It's $2,700 instead.
All right, we continue on in our Stepladder Finals 2023 Ebonite Fall Classic. Mike Flanagan, Joe Engelkis here with you. We've got Dave Dillinger now stepping in. He is the elder statesman here left in this Stepladder out of all the players. Dave just came off a pretty good finish out in Las Vegas at the True Amateur Tournament. He's had a nice event today. He opened the day with 290 earlier today. He also had a game in the 260s, taking on Nick Pate, who right now is unstoppable. A couple of right-handers should be playing pretty similar parts of the lane.
This would be an interesting match. Dave throws the ball really, really well. Been around a long time. Loves the ball and the tough stuff. Ooh. Almost at 410.
Dave was joking around with Nick before the match. Said, why don't we just bowl a 9th and 10th frame, and I get all the practice, you get none.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Lauren Pate, who's watching. Hope you're doing well. We're semi-neighbors now, Lauren, by the way.
Yeah, Lauren spent some quality time in Waterloo not too long ago.
Yes, she did.
Maybe Nick did need that 10 minutes of shadow balls that he said he needed.
Sure did.
His first two weren't the greatest shots. Oh. That almost needs an instant replay. Take a look at that shot. You missed it, Mike.
Yep. Sorry.
No, that's all right. It was interesting, to say the least. Most of the bucket took out the 10 pin.
Let's watch it again. Oh. That's Joe Engelkis carry right there.
There it is. Only mine's in slow motion. Ooh, that paid the price right back.
unable to bounce it out. However, oh, that's not the right replay.
No.
Nope, we're gonna go ahead and just forget about that one. Let's try this one here. I don't even remember what replay this one was. Oh, very. Pate leaves the 10 pin. So as I was saying, the 10 pin was picked earlier this week, and I believe I have it now.
It was on my pair.
Sure was. Game number 1, was it? Might have been game 1 of the event.
I
squad.
believe it was, actually, yes.
It was Kenny Calkins the third picked the 710.
That was my good buddy Kenny. Just became a new dad a couple weeks ago, 3-4 weeks ago. About the 11th frame time is when they had their new little one, and he said his sleep pattern is not very good yet.
Not yet, huh?
No. Mr. 9 Spare is clean through 4 with 4 different leaves.
9 sparing them to death here.
Yeah. Got a 1-pin lead, though. Another 9 count.
Seen a lot of those.
Oh, yeah.
Got a 1-pin match right now, which is this basically explains our game of bowling. One guy's clean through 4, the other guy's got an open frame, but you got to throw a double to make up for an open frame. So that's how you get to about even.
Yep. Ooh, got away with it. Almost got a strike. Wow.
That went from bad to fortunate to almost a gold.
Mm-hmm.
Pot of gold at the end of that rainbow. Nice spare.
So what was it like sitting in this booth all weekend without your good buddy Tom Hess this weekend? A little unusual, wasn't it?
It was a little unusual. It's certainly nice to have Tom around.
Yeah, he down bowling Arkansas, I believe, this weekend.
I get a lot of them, though, Bowl TV this year as well.
Right. Mm-hmm. got one to go. Good shot. I didn't see any results. You know anything about how he did down in Arkansas?
I don't. I haven't seen anything from down there.
I haven't either.
This is typically the time of the match that Nick has gathered enough information,
Yep. See if he takes advantage.
barring a really bad break or something here. That this is all Nick Pate Green City right here.
No, he's still struggling on that lane.
And Dillinger, he's very studious back there. He watches every shot, watches every ball reaction. He was down here watching all these matches.
Yep.
He kept coming up to us. Man, that lane's bad. Man, that lane's bad.
Ooh, good cover.
And that's what separates the contenders from the pretenders.
Yeah, yes it is.
That there.
Yep. No lost count, no open. Big deal.
It really
In a
is.
close match.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking 2-pin match right now.
He missed a 2-pin earlier, not to keep harping on it,
Yeah.
but then he goes up and makes that like it's no problem at all.
Right. Ooh. Seems like both lanes have a little hang on them on this pair.
Yeah, and there's no re-oil or anything, so later in the day, I mean, there's oil removed from the front and there's oil that's carried down the lane.
Yeah.
So it just makes it that much harder. Well, Dave's gonna have to throw another double to make up
Yeah.
for that open frame.
And he lost a bunch of count there too. He's only lost 8 pins of count more than Nick so far. That's a better shot. Oh! Yeah, nice break. Saw a bunch of those this weekend too.
So that's 2 of them in this game.
Yep.
First one wasn't amazing. This one here had a chance, I thought.
Yeah, that was a pretty good shot.
Let's see if he can bounce this one out. Gave it a run. Well, let's take a look at things here. 198 the max for Dave. Nick can still get to, what, 237?
237, yeah. 237 max.
And notice how Dave, when he turns around, you'll be able to see he tried to get all the mojo going. He's wearing an Ebonite shirt at the Ebonite Fall Classic.
Yeah, Dave's been a Brunswick Ebonite fan for a long time. Ooh, almost another 710, and instead it's the magic carry.
Here it is again. Difference between Dave and Nick. Nick gets the hit.
And those pins dancing around.
Oh, wow, it's going to hook. It
that's
should
wide.
hook. Oh, I knew it was going to carry.
Oh, yeah, okay. Mr. Prognosticator here. I thought he was going to leave the 210 again.
Check this out.
Oh my goodness.
I just saw him grab a handful of it,
Yeah.
and I thought it was going to get back.
He caught it. He got it a little wide though. It did pick up and come back.
This might be Nick Pate's day.
It might be. That was crazy. Oh my.
Oh, there we
he
go.
Broke it
This
up
is
at the
there
end.
must be somebody in the back throwing
Yeah,
pins at
throwing
this
pins.
point. Yeah.
Dave's game is starting to look like a bunch of my games yesterday. All them red marks in it. Definitely appears that the lanes got trickier from earlier in the day.
Yeah, I would say they're the toughest I've seen them right now.
Yeah. Oh my, that was a great shot.
Dave waited around like 2.5 hours for this.
Yeah.
That's why Dave wanted a 9th and 10th frame roll off. He just knew
Yeah.
he didn't want to bowl a full game. And look what he would have done. He would have gone strike, 8-1. That would have been his 9th and 10th frame. And Nick would have got 9 spare, 9. And Dave would have won. Dave would have won the roll off. That's what he wanted all along.
Yeah.
And he wasn't able to convince Nick to do it. I almost feel like going down and telling him. All right, here we go, Nick. I would imagine Nick at this point is just going to... It looks like he's moved further left. He's going to throw it even slower and grab a bigger ball that hooks more. Watch. I don't know if it's necessarily a bigger ball, but...
Definitely a different roll.
Yeah.
Look a little cleaner through the front and a lot more on the back. Yeah, Nick Pate continues to mow him down and move along. Oh, sure, now they go, right, Dave?
Yep.
No 7-10 that time.
So coming up in our semifinal match, it's going to be Trenton Holst taking on Nick Pate, number 2 seed versus the number 7 seed. Nick Pate continues to bowl 200 game after 200 game here. Nothing too flashy here, this Nick Pate character, but just enough to get by. Nobody's throwing a big game at him. The biggest sweat that he had was striking out in the 10th frame against Lucas Finley, the lefty. And in that particular matchup there, Lucas couldn't get it done, and Nick got to escape and move on. And he just keeps mowing him down. Zach Andreessen and now Dave Dentlinger. We'll see if he can take down Trenton Holtz. Nick's got several different bowling balls that seem to be getting into the strike pocket now. 215, same score that he bowled 2 games ago. Dave Dentlinger is going to come home 4th in this one. 154, 215 the final. We'll be back right here on Inside Bowling with the semifinal match here in just a moment. Welcome back as we move along here in the Stepladder 2023 Ebonite Fall Classic. Mike Flanagan, Joe Engelkiss here with you as we now move on to the semifinal match. We have Nick Pate, the number 7 seed, who's made it all the way out of the bracket, taking on our number 2 seed, Trenton Holst. Our first look at Holst, but Nick is going to start the match on the left lane. Patented Nick shot there, comes in a little bit light. 5 does get out. Now he leaves just the light 7. Joe, who do you like in this one?
Well, I don't really know much about Trenton. I haven't seen him bowl very much, but obviously he had a really good qualifying session. Bowled really well today. Nick's been pretty tough to beat, though, since nobody's been able to do it yet.
Yeah, the thing is here, I think Nick's going to be somewhere between 205 and 220.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
probably.
It's up to Trenton to see if he can get up here and bowl a big game here,
Right.
and knock him off here. Typically, we see, it's a 50-50 coin flip every time, and Nick's been flipping the coin, and he's been winning the coin tosses here. But here's Holst. He's got to go up against the left-hander here.
Oh, got a nice break right out of the chute here with a high one. Kind of caved him in.
Pate averaged 219 for 13 games of qualifying through the regular qualifying squad, and then, of course, the cashers round this morning. Holst averaged 227.2, almost 8 pins a game better.
See if he can take advantage of that nice break he got in the first. Yes, he threw a great shot there.
Yeah.
Not throwing your thing.
No, it's throwing reactive, keeping his angles right in front of him. The traditional lefty line. The
Right.
lefties like to play
Right.
out there. They're forced to play out there a lot, not a lot of traffic. And that looked really good. That seemed like it read nice once it hit the lane. The mid lane, it just gradually started moving over nice and smooth off the end of the pattern, 10 back.
Nothing jerky about that. Ooh, a little fast 8 action.
And that's Nick's comfort zone. He loves being deep inside. Every once in a while you'll see that he'll double dribble one here and there, and that's not bad for Nick on this, because what it does, it delays hook.
Right.
As it's bouncing or double dribbling, it doesn't have a chance to read. That's actually a good thing for Nick, if there is such a thing.
I watched the first couple shadow balls Nick threw, and he struck on him, so it surprised me that he's getting a slow start here.
Clean, though.
Yep.
Which is important.
Oh, yes. Well, the way these matches have gone, that's the utmost importance.
That one was good.
Yes, that was a flusher. Take care, man.
I'm going to try to make Bolorama, so I usually don't get down there. She wrote me down.
Another flush strike. Very nice. We may see Nick Pate meet his match here. We'll see.
It's possible.
He looks pretty comfortable.
Very comfortable. It's got a good ball reaction out there on the lanes.
Yep.
Got that nice break on his first shot. Always loosens up the arm swing a little bit. Makes you feel a little more comfortable.
definitely true. Good shot.
Looked good off his hand. I think he liked that one. Nick's been bowling so many games. I guess he he needs a little time here to get something adjusted.
Looks like he had to take a piece of tape off his finger, maybe, and replacing it there.
Well, he's been bowling a lot.
Yes, he has.
If he were to go to the title match, he will set an all-time record, tie a record for the most amount of games bowled.
Yep.
In this event. Made it all the way out of the bracket. Was in the very first match. Took on Cameron Crowe, beat him. Bowled Lucas Fenley, beat him. Zach Andreessen, beat him. Dentlinger, beat him. So he struck the last 2 times on the left lane.
Yep. And he threw a nice shot on the right lane, just didn't get the 10 out.
Yep, so he can bowl 258. Trenton, on the other hand, here, he is perfect. And can bowl a perfect game still. We always talk about things even out. You know, is Trenton going to make a beautiful shot and only get 9 to make up for that shot in the first? Oh, baby.
He got that one from both sides.
He's got just about everything going on. You see he's laughing. Has he bowled many of your events?
Not really very many. I think this might only be his second one.
Okay.
Oh my.
Yeah, this is going to be really tough sledding here for Nick Pate.
Yeah.
And this just happens sometimes.
Yeah, you're running into a buzzsaw here.
At least halfway through the game he has.
Yep.
Stranger things
not
have happened.
over yet.
Yeah, stranger things.
Yes.
This is not an easy pattern.
No, and that shot that Trenton just carried, the next time might lead both 7 and the 10.
Mm-hmm.
It's not unusual here. Like that almost. Wow.
And this is a real look at the difference between covering a bunch of boards and having your ball having to get back and create angle, and you got the other guy who's going right down and in, and he's creating angle just from the way he's playing the lanes.
Right.
Nick's got to have that touch. He's got to get it to the right and give it time to come back. And typically, especially a one-handed player with Nick's rev rate, you're at a disadvantage. If you hit the pocket 1,000 times playing inside like that, or somebody playing down and in, and you hit the pocket 1,000 times, you're going to carry a lot more playing down and in than you are going to hook the whole lane.
Absolutely. That's typically the way it works.
Now, where there's a little bit of an exception to that rule is some of these big power players we see today can get in and they can create just as much angle, if not more, than the guys playing down and in.
Right. Yeah, with those guys, the faster they can get way in, the better off they are.
So now a 2-5-7. Still important for Nick to pick this up.
Yeah.
It's not give up time. We're just a bounce one off the ankle, miss a little wide left, open frame away of this thing getting close.
Get away.
Wow,
he
he touched.
Wow.
There's two ways to pick that. You either
Yeah.
hit the right side of the two pin or the left side of the two pin. He took the left side of it.
And he hooked at it.
Mhm.
Last time when he left the 2-7, he threw his straight ball at it. But this was a little different with a 5-pin with it. That's pretty close.
Front 7.
Hmm.
And he's getting closer and closer to that magic number, which is now 226.
Yeah, he needs about one more mark and it's all over. That's another mark.
Yep, that's pretty much gonna do it.
Yeah.
Well, we said Nick would probably bowl between 2-0 and 220.
Yeah. Probably be about where he ends up. And not nearly enough on in this match. Whoop. Yeah.
Let's see if we have the thrill of a 300 game here.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. He's looked pretty comfortable throwing every shot.
I don't know what they're waiting on here.
Not sure either.
What's the delay? We're waiting for a ball.
Not sure what Trenton's doing here. Digging his backpack for something. Oh, a different thumb.
Came out. I don't know if it's in back or.
Thumb came out.
So the thumb came out of the ball on the front 8. Match is locked up.
Okay, that's different.
All right, so we have a little break in the action here while we try to discover the thumb. It's a great opportunity to thank our sponsors. I want to thank Ebonite for being our title sponsor. We'd like to also thank the Waterloo Convention and Visitors Bureau. You can head over to visitwaterloo.com and find out a lot of great information about Waterloo, Iowa, and all the great things to do here. Also, I Am Bowling, the official jersey supplier of the Greater Iowa Bowling Association, in which you can pick up any gear you want there at iambowling.com with the coupon code 25% off with coupon code GIBA. Also, we'd like to thank the Steen team, Brandon Steen. If you're looking for a mortgage up in the area, check out Brandon Steen and the Steen team. We want to thank Budweiser and Bud Light. Of course, remember to always drink responsibly. And also, we'd like to thank the Hampton Inn, the official hotel and lodging partner of the Greater Iowa Bowling Association. Also the OP restaurant over on Ridgeway for their continued support, and Kwik Trip for all they do as well. I'll be filling up my gas tank at Kwik Trip before I get out of town here. Don't forget there are two major events every year, the Fall Classic and the Winter Classic. The Winter Classic will be coming up the last week of February. We'll have it live for you right here on Inside Bowling. It'll be from Cadillac XBC, just right down the road. Okay, so they found the thumb.
Yeah, that's what they said. He's throwing a different ball, though.
Yep, front 8. He's going to throw a different ball. He's going to move in and hook it.
Oh. His ball rep told him he should try something different, evidently.
I guess so.
Now he's going to go try another different ball. Oh, I'm wondering if his,
If it broke,
yeah, because it looks like they're trying to,
repair the ball.
yes. Whether the bottom piece that it screws into maybe came loose.
Well, is the fix here where you just permanently glue it in?
I don't know.
If it won't
Could be.
lock in, you just put
Yeah.
super glue down the sides and you just glue it in if that's the ball of choice to win this thing.
Yeah, I would think that's probably what they would do, but I don't know if that's what he's doing here. Maybe that's what they did. Let's see if no, he's taking the thumb out of the other one, putting it in that one. So they must have just had to re-glue the bottom piece or something. Definitely more comfortable with that ball.
Very nicely bowled,
Yes.
279 unorthodox. Had to go switch balls. Coming up next in our championship match, we have Trenton Holtz taking on Brady Stearns. Number 1 versus number 2 coming up right here on Inside Bowling. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody. Championship match here. Number 1 versus number 2 seed. And look at that. Trenton Holt starts out with another break on his first shot of his next match. Holt's the southpaw versus Brady Stearns. The right-hander. Both of these players, it's their first title match in these events, these majors here up in Iowa, here at Maple Lanes. Glad you're with us here on Inside Bowling. Here we go. Got a strike already up for the southpaw on Trenton Holtz. Just bowled 279 against Nick Pate. And now we're seeing that squirrely ball reaction down lane for yet another right-handed player playing the middle part of the lane. 2-8-10.
Tough start.
Yeah, they're definitely, I mean, we're consistently seeing trying to go left to right in the middle of the lane as a right-handed player. It's tough to bowl more than 220. And that's if you're bowling really well.
Right.
And we haven't seen the lefties really have much of an advantage per se, but 270 the last game with that ball reaction that Trenton has.
All right. It seems that this pair doesn't give him that same reaction. He's throwing urethane now.
Yep,
At least on the left lane.
got a little bit of a lucky hit there for strike in the first.
That's a better shot. No, that one hooked. Ooh. Another tough spare. Holy cow.
Makeable, but still hard.
Mm-hmm.
Choosing to go hard and straight at it. That's splitting boards there at this spare.
That is pretty darn impressive with a plastic ball to shoot that spare from that angle.
So Trenton Holtz strikes on a light hit on the left lane. Now you're like you mentioned, Joe, he's into urethane now, not reactive. Still staying right up on top of the pattern though. Here we go.
Yeah.
This one's going to tell me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
Wow.
Now, I wonder if he's in urethane now because of the issue with that other ball,
I
or
don't
if
know.
he actually wanted to use this ball.
Well, he tried to throw the other ball, his first couple shadow practice balls here, and it was way late down lane. It just labored to get back. So anyway, went to this urethane to get it rolling earlier, I think. Ooh. I was going to say that one was hanging on the edge. Way further left than he has been. Oh, we got three of them.
He sure did.
Almost got a real break there. That extra pin could come in handy at the end of the...
Most certainly
Day, though.
could.
was a great shot.
Maybe
there.
game on here.
Yeah, that was a great shot.
Sometimes when your opponent gives an open frame,
Yep.
sometimes it gives you a little glimmer of hope and lets you calm down a little bit.
Loosened you up a little. Saying, okay, now let's put it on him.
There we go.
Yeah, that puts him in the lead.
That's what we wanted to see.
Yeah,
A title match that's close.
that was a very nice shot there. Good relaxed arm swing and good release. He definitely doesn't have that early roll that he had on the other pair.
No.
This one wants to push a little on him.
Ooh. That there is a costly mistake.
Wow.
That's about as good as you can throw it.
That was pure.
Nice and smooth through it. That was good.
I think that missed 3-pin was probably a result of him trying to play hard and straight with a reactive ball in the area that the right-handers have just burned up all day today. So it hooked even though he didn't expect it to.
Brady has struck his last two shots, so he's got a clue what's going on both lanes.
Well, that was pure too. Wow.
That looked really good. Brady averaged 228.9 in qualifying, plus 376 for 13 games. Trenton Holtz 227.2 plus 354. Another good one. 4 in a row now for Brady Stearns, #1 seed.
Yeah, very solid shot.
In control. I saw some folks in the chat here after 2 frames or said it's over.
Little did they know.
It's over. Forget about it.
It's pushing. It's just pushing a little more on this pair.
He just doesn't have 279 ball reaction like he
No,
did the
he
last
doesn't.
game with that other ball.
No, he doesn't. Oh, he missed that one too. Wow.
This thing's really turned around, Joe.
Yes, it has. It's beginning to look like the 2-hour wait was worth it. Not over yet. Another pure one.
Yeah, that looked a little right off his hand, and it actually held.
Yep. I think this pair seems to have the hold in an area that the last pair didn't.
Yep. 211 the max for Brady. I'm sorry, excuse me, for Trenton.
Right.
Brady's up now on the right lane looking for 5 in a row. 239. Is that what he's pacing here? No, he's not pacing that yet. 269 the max.
219 is what he's
Yeah.
pacing right now.
Oh,
Oh, there's that
That's
famous
just a-
Maple Lane solid 7.
bad break.
Terrible break. From that angle, you don't expect to leave that. But marks are his friend now. If he stays clean, doesn't lose too many pins, he's gonna go home a winner.
Another good one.
Yeah.
And he's got his bowling ball just shaping so nicely to go through the pins.
Yeah, he throws the ball extremely well, and he's had a lot of success over the last 5 or 6 years. Whether it's bowling our events or the Minnesota scratch tournaments up in his home area. He's won a lot of big ones. That lane just will not pick up for Trenton. That's just where a little softer hand, a little softer speed would probably work better for him there.
Zach here said, I'll give you $1 if you make it.
And he made it. That's one of his teammates giving him a little raspberries there.
Yeah, I think I might have turned around and said, how's your neck feel looking up at me in the standings?
Yeah, something like that wouldn't hurt. That's a good shot.
He can still bowl 191. Two single pin misses there. He'd be at 211.
Yeah, it'd still be a match with these
He'd
spares.
have an outside shot.
Yeah, it would still be a match with those. Strike here, and it's definitely all over. Really, any mark here, it's over.
Has Brady Stearns made a deep run in this event before? I can't remember any that I've streamed.
Not that I can think of. Oh,
4, 6, 7.
well, if he gets 2, he's still in total control. Gotta get 2 of these, though.
gets 2, does this give him 186?
Yeah, if he gets 2, he's in the 190 with just some count in the 10th. Gives him 186 going into the 10th. All he needs is, what, 6 spins.
6 spins
total.
on 2 balls, yep. .20 to 220 won every single match except for the semifinal where it took 279.
Yeah.
That's going to do it.
Yeah.
Your
that'll be enough.
2023 Ebonite Fall Classic champion, Brady Stearns, takes it home. Shows up in a big way here in the title match, too. Frames 3 through 8 were really impressive.
Yeah.
In the 7th, he ran over the rack for that 7
That's
pin.
right. That's right.
Goes 2-8-10, 3-6-9-10, converts that, gets lined up, makes some great shots. Had one hook a little much on him in the 8th, and one not hook enough. I'm sorry, in the 9th, and one not hook enough in the 10th. But still going to bowl a 200 game here. He's at 196 right now. We'll see what he finishes up at. Trenton Holtz is going to go ahead and just fast track through here. And a great tournament by Trenton, that is for sure.
Yeah, awesome bowling. There's just a whole bunch of young guys that really impressed this weekend.
Yep. 206, the final winning score. Another single pin spare. Wanted to make sure that he let his buddies here know that he picked it up.
Yeah. And he turned around and asked him, "Hey, how big was your check today?"
Great shot. Finish it out.
Okay.
That's the end of the match, and I'm going to talk with Brady Stearns here in just a moment, right up here in the booth here on Inside Bowling. I'll be right back. All right, testing 1, 2. Can you hear me okay, Brady?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. We'll bring it into the booth. All right, everybody. I'm here with our tournament champion, Brady Stearns. Congratulations, Big Daddy.
Thank you, sir.
Nice
Thank
bowling
you.
out there. Well, I was talking to Joe. How many of these events have you bowled?
I've bowled probably majority of these for the last, 10 years probably now.
And we're trying to think of the deepest run that you've made. Do you know what your best finish is?
I made the top 10 here. I won one match and lost the second, so I think that'd be what, like 7th, 8th, a couple years ago. But
yeah.
just never really had too much going on in this tournament for whatever reason. But yeah, glad to get over the hump today.
This 42-foot oil pattern was quite tricky for a lot of really good players, and we saw a different batch of field this year. We saw a lot of really, really young players here.
Absolutely.
And it was really challenging. What do you think made the pattern so challenging here this week?
Well, I bowled C squad, which normally I don't try to bowl C squad. I try to get on A or B. I know on our squad we had a lot of two-handers, and we had a lot of the young two-handers, so then they're going to be throwing a lot of urethane because they kind of have to almost. So I think that just made, for us, that made pair-to-pair even that much worse, tricky. I mean, you'd have some pairs that would look good. You could throw a shiny quick ball, but then if you go to the next pair and it's got a little bit of urethane or not urethane, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's going to go left or it's going to go right. You really don't know what's going to happen. So it's just so important to get those first two frames, throw good shots to get the information. So I think it was a little bit of that, and I mean, it just wasn't an easy pattern. You could kind of play to the right, you could kind of play to the left, you could kind of do whatever you're comfortable doing, but you just got to make shots. I mean,
Yeah, with the way the load data was set up, the front part of the lane seemed like it just wanted to pick up really quick, and then as you threw it down lane, extended down lane, it just didn't want to come off the end of the pattern with any sort of bounce or entry angle at all.
absolutely, it definitely felt like the softer you could be with your hand, the easier you could get it through the front, which would actually create the down lane motion. So it was that was at least my key for the most part. Just try to be as nice and soft to it and just roll it and get it through the front.
That's what I saw for 2 days as well. But you looked like you got really matched up there in the title match. I know you didn't want to go 2-8-10 and then 3-6-9-10. Then you threw the spare ball straight at it, which you got to pretty much just be splitting boards to be able to do that. You did that, and then you come back, you throw a 4-bagger, you leave a run over the rack 7, which was an awesome shot, and then you struck again. So, I mean, you did what you needed to do there.
I sorted through 4 or 5 different bowling balls there through the practice, and then even the couple first frames there, and just lucky that the Wolverine was the one to throw there.
Yeah, and it looked really good going down the lane. Hey, I don't know who supports you, but this is your opportunity now to thank anybody that helps put you here and support you in your bowling career.
Oh goodness, family, friends. I'm lucky enough to be on staff with Storm for the last 3-4 years, so big thank you to them. I mean, it's a friend and family effort. I mean, most of the people that come to tournaments like this, I mean, they got a group of people that they go with, so
Yeah.
it's a little bit of a get together, and it's good times like this. You just don't want to try and pass up, so you just root for everybody that you got coming with. So.
And where's this one stack up in your tournament victories?
Oh goodness, this one would have to definitely be up there. I won the Morris Anderson up in Minot for a couple times. I've been lucky enough to win that, but this one, with how tough Joe makes it, and they're always such a good turnout, the quality of field, I mean, this one would definitely be up there at the top. So.
Yeah, there's some great champions' names, 24 of these things, and now your name is etched in there with all of them.
Yeah, that's awesome. I can't thank you guys enough at Inside Bowling, Joe, Maple, everybody that supports these tournaments. I mean, there's a reason they fill out months in advance. I mean, they run fantastic tournaments, so thank you to everybody that puts these on.
That's why I keep coming back to you. Brady, congratulations.
Thank
That's
you,
your
sir.
champion, Brady
Thank you
Stearns,
very
once
much.
again. I'll let you go down and collect your money and get your pictures taken.
Thank you, sir.
All right, everybody, that's our champion, and that's going to do it for this year's event. Thanks for tuning in to Inside Bowling all weekend. Been coming up here for 12 years, 24 events. We've streamed, I think, 20 of them whenever I can get up here. So if you want to find out more information about these great events, go to giba-bowling.com. You can sign up for the one coming up in February, and we'd like to see you here live in person. Make sure you come by and say hello. Again, we'd like to thank Ebonite, our title sponsor, all the associate sponsors. We'd like to thank the entire staff here at Maple Lanes for hosting the event. I'd like to thank Joe and Rosie and, of course, Jennifer for inviting me to come up and always be part of these events. And they do such a great job running them and donate a lot of money from all these different sponsors, and they're responsible for getting the sponsors. So I want to thank everybody for viewing this weekend here on Inside Bowling, participating in the chat, supporting us. Don't forget, if you want to support us even more, you can go over to InsideBowling.com. Check out our merch. You can save 15% with the coupon code. It's down on the bottom left-hand side of our screen. With coupon code YouTube, you can save 15%. Our next broadcast is in 2 weeks, coming up in Springfield, Missouri at the Springfield Doubles Kevin Williams event. There's going to be a lot of strikes down there, a lot of players bowling in that one. It's going to be really exciting. Looking forward to bringing you that one coming up here in 2 weeks here in September. So once again, my name is Mike Flanagan from InsideBowling.com. Thanks for tuning in. Always do appreciate the support. Everybody be safe out there. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Have a great week, and we'll see you in 2 weeks right here on Inside Bowling. Guys in the truck graphic, please. There it is. Thanks.